Welcome to DJ TV.
My correct people, we greet you now. Welcome now once again to DJ TV.
Yes, so my people, the update and the documentary will be say BBC promised the whole world yesterday will be Sunday. Say they want release onto the dark things will be say Prophet TB Joshua doing their life. BBC don dey begin dey release and my people not be small thing. Una need to see this one. This one not be write up. This one not be picture. This one na video. People they talk. People they give experiences. They talk what they go through. Everything. My people, this one in shock not be small. Una need to see this video. Una need to hear for una self because we don't know where this whole thing for the come outside do. Una know say that year we dey hear so kind side talk say the synagogue not pure. The thing wey dey happen for there not real. But this one, so we say videos all they come out, so BBC don't they release it like this. We don't know the reason why even make BBC come they release on this time, but after this man don't buy TV years ago, and now they come they release this kind of thing. Anyway, I go leave on the moon and watch this video. Moon and hear from all these people. So they cry, make una watch them and make una no forget to like and share, my people. Make una watch the video.
I was joining a cult. I thought I was joining a church.
We are all here as evangelists in training under our Father in the Lord, Senior Prophet TB Joshua.
Nightmare. I'm looking at myself and I don't even recognise myself. I can't watch stuff. I just find it very disturbing. I grew up in a pretty happy family. I was lucky. When I was 12, I realised I was gay and it was like, oh my God, that can't be me. But this deep knowing that it was, and I just pushed it down so far. So the day that started it all was the day that I was shown videos from the Synagogue Church of All Nations. Nothing was ever the same again. I thought, well, maybe this is the answer to my problems. Maybe this man can straighten me out. Like, if he prays for me, I won't be gay anymore, and then I can just give my life to God. And that started my pursuit to Nigeria. I want to see those miracles, and if I can't see them and they're not real, I'm out of here. There were queues and queues and queues of people, like hundreds and hundreds of people queuing up with like various ailments.
The anointed man of God has stretched forth his healing hand towards this brother, and you can see him shaking under the influence of the Holy Spirit.
My bags were pulled out of the truck. My friend was put on the plane. My parents collected her at Heathrow. She was basically crying like, Ray's not coming back. She's like stayed there. Being a disciple, you lived under a really strict set of rules. We weren't allowed to read anything. We weren't allowed to watch movies. You'd see people coming and they would be like, he's hot, hey, he's hot. Daddy's hot. And you would literally see everybody just scatter. If you didn't run, you'd get an almighty big slap around the face. You didn't see it as physical abuse. We were told it's an honor to get slapped by me because I'm next to Jesus. We weren't allowed to wear watches, so our time was controlled. We had to go by God's time, so I didn't know what day, month, year it was. Before you know it, your brain doesn't think like it used to think. I stayed in that place till 2013. So what's that, 12, 13 years that I was there, yeah, in Lagos. We all thought we were in heaven, but we were in hell, and in hell, terrible things happen.
The God I was introduced to is evil. This is the same God that would sleep with us. This is the same God that would beat us up. You have no idea of what I went through. Everybody wanted the privilege to meet this big giant called TB Joshua.
Nothing is as strong as love. I love you.
The first time I met him, he looked loving, not knowing that behind that was a sadist, a psychopath.
There was a system in there that he used to abuse these women. He's the one that crafted the building of his apartment. The whole building was just designed to keep secret. I call a lady, Prophet wants to see you. He will tell you the specific staircase that this person should come.
I felt like there was a beast, like this beast. I was screaming and he was whispering in my ear that you should stop acting like a baby.
He kept forcing himself on me. He assured me the more I made him happy, God will be happy with me.
You know it. You skip your first period, you skip your second period, and you have to talk.
If any of us got pregnant, we have to do something about it.
I witnessed a lot of abortions. They started doing it inside the synagogue.
You'd be taken to this clinic of his.
It could have killed us. I never had a choice whether I could keep a potential child or not.
I had 3 abortions at synagogue.
I wanted to be connected to God. That's why I stayed there. That's why I keep trying my very best.
He hated her and he punished her for being born. Her existence was probably the biggest threat to his reputation.
For as long as I can remember, I have been raised as TB Joshua's daughter.
Ajoke grew inside the synagogue like an outcast.
He said that people could beat her, and I saw people just walking in, just slapping her.
Everybody was just acting based on commands like zombies. I was hearing things, oh, this happened to me, oh, he tried sleeping with me. Accounts firsthand of people who had experienced sexual abuse. I couldn't take it anymore. I walked directly into his office. I shouted at the top of my voice, why are you hurting all of these women? You're using these women. You're sleeping with these women. He was beyond shocked and he couldn't hide it. I was put in a room totally isolated from like the rest of the church. They were hitting me with belts, chains. Eventually, this disciple escorted me to the front of the church gate and then just left me there. I found myself homeless.
She was sent on the street as a beggar. Her dad is a multi-millionaire. You know how it is to survive in the street of Lagos? It was as good as she was given a death sentence.
I lost everything, but for me, it comes down to the truth. And for as long as there is breath in me, I'll defend that until the very end.
To be brainwashed, it doesn't feel like brainwashing. It's like your brain has been completely rewired. It's like you've took a drug almost. Lack of sleep, cut off from your family, living communally, one high controlling leader who controls everything.
Oh, they are well treated here, like kings and princes.
You were living on site in the church. When you live at the compound, you don't leave the compound. There's armed men at the gate with guns. There's a wall, there's barbed fencing. The windows are blacked out. The stairs were concrete, the walls were concrete. It felt like a labyrinth. You're told never to leave. You could get killed, you could get attacked.
You couldn't contact anyone outside. I didn't have my own cell phone. We didn't have really access to our own personal email. We didn't have our passports. They held them for us.
When I first arrived, it was only a couple of days that I started hearing disciples calling him Daddy. He'd always sit on a swivel chair, and sometimes he'd push off the wall and go, wee! And everyone would go, oh, he's so silly. We'd revel in that, oh, silly Daddy.
It's like you're in this kind of perpetual childhood state, because he also treats you like a child and he calls you a child.
There was this kind of like regression that took place. You used to like giggle like a kid and stuff. It was so strange. Being a disciple, you lived under a really strict set of rules. We weren't allowed to read anything. We weren't allowed to watch movies.
You know, he would say what you should wear, what you shouldn't.
I can't describe how tired you were, constantly. Exhausted, absolutely exhausted. Because you've had 2 hours sleep and you never have more than 4 hours sleep, ever.
Sleep was seen as like basically the greatest enemy to the work of God. He used to tell us things like, you have to pray against it You have to battle it.
We weren't allowed to wear watches, so our time was controlled.
The time goes by so quickly because every day is so similar to the last. You wake up and it's like, oh, it's 2 years later, oh, it's 3 years later. I was 16 or maybe even 15 when I first visited, and then I stayed for 14 years.
DJ AP. DJ AP.